What's the deal? It's your boy J Mike. Just coming off of an all-time performance at the USAPL 2018 Winter Classic. Broke world records, state records, national records at this particular meet, which is actually pretty funny because someone of my caliber typically wouldn't do a meet of this kind. But what a lot of people don't realize, although I am a master lifter, I'm still very new to the sport, so I don't have a lot of platform time. So anytime I get an opportunity or a chance to hit the platform, if it's within a 20 to 30 minute area or range for me, I'm always going to go and do something there. This particular meet was also the very first meet under my new sponsors. I am now sponsored by A7 as well as Noble Vice Performance. They make the combo racks that you see in the videos, and A7, you know, of course, makes the bar grip shirts and things of that nature that you see all over social media. This was more about me benching at this particular meet. The other things that came along with it was more like just a bonus. I've been in the 600 range now for bench for over a year now. But I've only bench pressed 600 pounds in an actual meet one other time, which was the best performance I had previous to the one I just had. I had a disappointing bench nationals, had a disappointing raw nationals. So to come back and get this clear early in the year was very important to me. I have the Arnold coming up where I will be competing bench only at the Arnold Bench Pro, as well as I was invited or was offered a slot on Team USA going to Finland. So I want to get as many chances with 600 pounds on the platform as possible. So this was one of those that allowed me to do that. And also, I'll be going to Canada, or Calgary, in June for IPF Worlds to defend my Masters World title. But enough of that. Let's get into this meet. This meet was very strange in the fact that it was moving very slow. It was running a little bit behind. I was a little bit tentative about doing this meet in particular due to the fact that I've been dealing with injury and I may have a sports hernia, but I've just been working around it. And to give you an idea of where I was in terms of the 3 lifts, the bench is the only lift that I actually was training, you know, seriously without any delays or anything. And squat, I had done maybe 6 or 7 sessions since Raw Nationals, so I knew that I could squat 700. But anything over that, shooting, fish in the ocean or something of that nature. I had no clue what I was able to do. I didn't take a deadlift until the week before, so I took off basically 2.5 to 3 months from deadlifts. So I had no idea what I would actually post. But I turned 40, and I had yet to total 2,000 pounds as a 40-year-old. So I kind of was running through numbers in my head. If I got 700 pounds on squat, 600 pounds on bench, and 700 pounds on deadlift, that'll give me a 2,000 pound total without stressing my body out too much. So beforehand, I actually took some attempts. I took a 700 a couple of times. I benched 600 probably 20 times in the last few weeks. So I felt comfortable with those 2 lifts, knowing that I can get 700 and 600 respectfully. But the one I was worried about was deadlift. Due to the fact that I actually missed a 738 pound deadlift at Raw National, which cost me a 2,000 total as well as second place. So I just had no idea where I was. So get to the meet. With there not being a lot of A-level lifters there, it was actually hard to warm up. I couldn't find a place to warm up. And I've also noticed that if I'm ever the last person squatting at a meet, it's probably no one there due to the fact that typically the bigger guys all squat above 750 to 800 pounds. And I'm like in that 700-pound range, you know, with a very average squat. So I actually only got about 3 warm-ups before I hit the platform, and I seriously considered not doing this meet, but I went ahead and went through with it anyway. So I opened up, decided to lower my attempts. I actually lowered all 3 of my attempts in this particular meet, but I actually lowered my opener from 683 down to 650. I hit 650 a bunch of times in my garage. I felt comfortable with it, and I also knew that if I really needed to, I could probably still hit 2,000, needing 750 pounds on my deadlift if I actually needed it, based on if I hit a 650 squat and a 600 bench. I thought I could dig deep and get a 750-pound deadlift if I needed it. But things went a little bit different on squats. So started off with a 650-pound attempt. I locked in, went down, came up. It was actually extremely easy. It actually almost scared me. But I decided to go ahead with the plan that I stuck out with. Let's just go 700 pounds next. So for my second attempt, I loaded up 700 pounds. Fun fact, I've actually squatted this number 4 or 5 times in my career. I've never actually gotten a good lift anything above 700 pounds. So I hit the 700 pounds pretty comfortably, and a lot of people around were saying I should probably go 725, 727, 730. I was like, you know what? I just want to PR. So I decided to go with 711. It was actually less than what the attempts that I normally miss, which is 717, which I've missed 2 different occasions. So, excuse me, I said, let me go ahead and do the PR, and that is just what I did. Loaded up 711 pounds, went down, and came up. Other than the fact that I was very pleased with the results. So now, everyone knows I am probably, I'm probably the best full meet bencher in the United States. I was voted, bencher of the year by the Kings of Lifts podcast, as well as the page on YouTube or Instagram or whatnot. So I'm always a little bit more confident when it comes to benching, especially in a full meet. But in this particular meet, I was due to open up at 578 pounds, but at last minute, I decided to go against that and lower it to 573. With the fact that I actually picked up 10 extra pounds on the squat, I knew I had a little room to play with in order to get to a 2,000 pound total. So I decided to lower that down to 573 pounds. I do not have that lift on video, but let me tell you, it was pretty fast. It went down and came up, gave me all the confidence in the world to take 600 pounds or 600.8 pounds on my second attempt. And I went out and crushed it. I was able to get position. I was able to get tight. Everything felt well. Arm wasn't dead. Everything was well set up. Got under the bar, and I was able to crush that attempt. So now I'm tied. I try to typically avenge missed lifts that I've done in the past, and the most I've ever attempted on a platform was 612 pounds. So I dialed 612 pounds into the scorekeeper, and didn't get emotional. I get so ramped up and so pumped up that it throws my lift off. But in this particular case, I was playing with house money. I went out there, got a favorable press command, and I was actually able to get it. So this particular lift not only was a 12 pound PR, but it also secured the biggest bench press in a full meet drug tested in the history of the sport in the 308 class. The IPF and the USAPL don't really recognize the 308 class, but when you compare it to the rest of powerlifting, it kind of it does. So I try to make sure that I'm always under 308 so that I qualify, so I can be compared to the guys who are in untested federations, or guys who are actually using juice or whatnot. I'm also tied for number 1 in the United States amongst any 308 in the bench press. Believe I'm number 1 in terms of full meat bench press as well. So all around, I'm pretty, I'm solid. I'm not the best, but I'm solid. Okay, so now we go to deadlift. Now, I had absolutely no idea where I was. I'll probably include the clip right here due to the fact that I did not take all 3 attempts. I only took 2 attempts in this particular meet. I worked up the Sunday before and pulled 700 pounds just to see if I could do it. And you could tell by the attempt, it moved okay. It didn't move great. It moved okay. I was able to get 700 pounds. So I knew that if I was able to get to the finish needing 700 pounds for a 2,000 pound total, I felt more than confident that I would be able to get that attempt. With the fact that I've actually went over what I needed, instead of needing 700 pounds, which, I thought I would need, only needed 680 pounds. So I lowered my opener again from 700 pounds down to 680 pounds to secure the 2,000 pound total, as well as my full meet world record. I was warming up. I worked up to about 510 pounds or whatever, did overhand grip, the weight flew. I knew that I was pretty confident that I would get the weight. Excuse me. Went out there, the bar was loaded at 683 and I absolutely crushed it, which gave me like a 2,000 total. And I came inches close from shutting the meet down from that point, because I just think about pushing. I missed 738 actually training for it. And here I has been 2 or 3 months where I hadn't done any training at all. I didn't think that the possibility of me PRing was very high. But what I decided to do was take 738, which would give me a chance to get a 5-pound PR on my total, as well as, avenge the miss that I had at Raw Nationals. And that's what I did. So I told him to load the bar at 738. I go out and I absolutely crush it. I thought that I could have had it between 20 to 40 pounds. And with that being the case, I probably had an outside shot at getting 2,100 pound total, but I played on the safe side. Didn't make sense going for anything crazy. It's a local meet, first meet of the year. I went in, got a 5-pound PR, world record, and countless other national records for age and all that kind of stuff. So I made it out safe. So I actually hit that lift, and I walked away from my 3rd attempt. So I wound up winning best lifter amongst everyone there. I also won. I won my class, which was the 120 class. I won 3 medals total. So I won the 120 class, 120 plus class. I won bench only, and I won the Masters division. So overall, I couldn't have done any better than what I actually wound up doing at this particular meet. And also during this meet, I believe it was probably why I got invited to the world team to do bench only in Finland. So overall, I think everything worked out. Also got a chance to meet Johnny Candido, which was kind of cool. And be on the lookout. We may be doing a collaboration sometime in February. But I just think this was a pretty good showing. I just have to go ahead and lock down and get a little, mentally tougher in bigger meets so I can perform, so where it doesn't look like I just don't perform at big meets. I think this is the first step. I'll probably add in this video. I benched 600 pounds the Thursday after the meet. I didn't have a lot of soreness, so I went ahead and loaded the bar up and actually crush 600 pounds. So I think 600 pounds now will be the norm. So just be on the lookout for a lot more lifts like that. I'll also start giving you guys a little more insight into how I train and, you know, the things that have worked for me over the years. So now I'm getting ready for the Arnold. That's next up. Everything is paid for. I'll be doing the bench pro-am or whatever, the bench pro event. Everything is taken care of already. So I just have to make sure I show up healthy there. Be taking on TD Davis. Now the good thing about this is that TD Davis weighs about 150 pounds more than I do, but it's not about how much weight you lift. It's done on Wilks. So I have a shot to still beat him. So my goal is to push him to have to bench over 700 pounds to beat me. I'm looking to be around 722 to 733 at this particular event. But at the end of the day, it's about getting the check. Last year I finished second place. I hit my opener, I hit my second attempt, and that was it. Some of the other guys bombed out because they went too aggressive. So this year I'll probably take the same course that I did at this particular meet. Probably go 573, which would be a Masters World single lift record. Then follow that up with 600 pounds, and then, you know, take a jump, you know, 617, 620, 633 or something of that nature. But to get the win is the goal. But I just want to give you guys a breakdown of what actually went down at this particular meet. I'll also be doing some reviews and some breakdowns of previous meets that I've done that I didn't do a recap of, most notably Raw Nationals. What the hell happened to me at Raw Nationals? So once again, this is J Mike. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Later.